The Little Things, starring Rami Malek, Jared Leto, who's a crackhead, and Denzel
Yep.
Washington, who's not a crackhead.
Yeah.
See,
This movie opened with Sterling, and I was like, "Whoa, is that Sterling?"
Oh no.
I thought that was Teenage Bounty Hunters. I was like, "Oh shit,
She really is getting good roles
you
now.
guys are getting paid." But sadly, it wasn't her. I went on the IMDb just to check because I was confused.
Oh,
So let's
I mean,
give the fans a quick synopsis of what The Little Things about. The Little Things involves former detective Denzel Washington. That's his name, of course, in
I
character.
was I was just about to say I don't remember any of these characters' names, so it's gonna be Denzel,
I actually
Rami.
do, I think.
Oh, do
you
you?
mean
It's
Joe
Deke,
Joe Buck.
Joe Deacon?
Deke, Jimmy, Crackhead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Denzel, like I said, former detective. Rami Malek, current detective. Jared Leto, crackhead.
Yep.
Right? All the roles are filled. Former detective coming into town to get some loot. Rami Malek says, "I fucking hate you. Why? Because you're ugly." To Denzel, they kind of have an on and off again love hate relationship where they're like definitely not sexual tension there or anything.
No, nothing.
And that leads them to finding Jared Leto, who's a crackhead who they think did the murders, and he goes, "I didn't do the murders, man. I'm just jonesing for some crack." And he's got crack, got crack. He thought Denzel's salt and pepper hair now was fucking crack. He tried to sniff his head. It was hilarious, dude. I love that scene. But yeah, so that happens. Then they're trying to pin it on him, and then they don't pin it on him, and then shit happens to him, and then the end. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will just general movie because honestly, you guys are like, "Oh my gosh, only 2 minutes in, you guys talk about the whole plot." Yeah, literally, that there's not a lot of
Yeah.
plot. It's just a movie that you want to watch to enjoy for the acting and shit. Like Rami
Yeah.
Malek,
Pretty much.
is fucking daddy, bro. I love Rami Malek.
Yeah, dude.
Rami Malek is awesome in everything that he's in, dude.
Very good.
I don't know if you guys have seen Mr. Robot. Have either of you guys have?
No.
That was my first exposure to Rami Malek. Love him. Everything he's in. Like he's
He
just
played
top tier actor.
He was Achman Ra in Night at the Museum.
Yes, he was.
Forgot about that. He was good at that too.
Yeah, but he ruled in this though, which is awesome. Denzel, Denzel's a little bit on the downworld of his career, but he can still give you a solid performance here and there.
Man's does not have an expiration date. That's a fact.
Yeah, it was. He did put a solid performance, and then there was Jared Leto. He just showed up on set looking normal, and they're like, "You look like you're on crack." He's like, "What?" And they just let him go.
Yeah.
So that was
Bro, he had the limp the whole time.
And it was awesome, dude. Jared Leto on the crack.
Dude, Masvidal really took a turn after that loss to Usman, let me tell you.
Oh.
Dude, I agree though. The acting in this movie was fantastic. I feel like in some sort it almost saved this movie for me. Like there's just so many good moments that like came from the actors and not from the script.
That's kind of true. Dude, Rami Malek at the house with his kids at the very end was awesome. His like petrified little look. He's like, I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. Man, dude, Rami Malek, I don't know why they don't give him more roles, man. He might be picky. He might be one of those dudes who's picky about what he does.
Hey, he's not picky enough. Like, if he's picky, he's not picky enough.
Maybe they cut out the good scenes of this movie. All right, let's say it's the director or the editor's fault.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is bad. I don't know. It didn't need to be 2 hours.
Zodiac.
It is, and that's what I was gonna say too. It shouldn't have been 2 hours. I think we can all agree to that. It probably could have been an hour 20, like we say to every movie that we watch, because that's how people do movies now, and it's bullshit. But
okay,
yeah,
I actually have a counterpoint. It had to be 2 hours long just because of the ending. Because they don't want you to have a solid case on what happened. They want you to guess and make a theory based on the evidence provided.
I get it, but I don't know. I don't even remember half the stuff that happened in this movie. Like,
I don't either.
I
There's so
only
many-
do because I had to make a theory about what was going on.
and that's fair. I mean, I'm excited to hear it for sure.
They call this movie The Little Things because that's all that's in here. Is just little things pieced together that don't make sense in the end.
Well, it's called The Little Things because Denzel said it like 5 times to Rami Malek. He
Yeah.
says the little things that get you caught.
Exactly. The
Hey,
first time he said that, I'm
the
like,
name
the
of the
fuck?
movie is The Little Things. Hey,
Yeah, dude. Literally.
the movie's called The Little Things.
Guess what the title of my movie is?
The Little Things.
Dude, I'm shocked this was not a Netflix original, just based on kind of what was in this movie.
This won awards, dude.
Did it
Huh?
really?
Yeah, I mean, I hope if it won awards, it's for like best performance for like Rami Malek. or
Oh,
something.
100%.
But, like,
100%.
for writing, this shouldn't have won much, if anything.
No.
No.
The only thing that I really give him credit for is the general plot line and the details. The actual writing itself, like what they say, is kind of meh. But again, I feel like this all was built up for the ending and for interpretations, to be honest.
I agree.
I've heard this is based on a book. Again, I've said this a million times on the show. We don't read the fucking books. We're not going to read
Facts.
the books. If we haven't read the books by the time we showed up here, we're not reading them after.
Facts.
For sure.
So, sorry. It's like, but the book is amazing and it explains everything about how Denzel. No, I don't care. Fuck off. Go home.
You can check. You can check our book podcast when we're fucking 80.
Yeah, read the book again instead of the typing that comment or something. But yeah, so basically towards the end of the movie, Rami Malek is really trying to find this killer quick because they told him they're gonna kick him off the case. And Denzel is helping him by being a loose cannon cop because all the cops are loose cannons in every show ever.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And so then the Jared Leto takes him somewhere. He says, "Just dig, man, dig." He says, "I know where the body is. Just dig." And he's digging. He's like, "She motherfucker, I didn't do it. I told you I didn't do it. There's no body here. So unless you want to keep digging, I'm gonna go home now." And he goes, "No, you're not." He goes, "Fuck." And so Jared
Dude.
Leto just sits there and antagonizes Rami Malek's character for no other reason than wanting to fucking
Dude.
die.
I know. That was stupid, dude. I was like, you want to die at that point. Like, there's, I don't know.
He's put
That
a gun
was
to your
good.
face 3 times.
Right. Basically what he did.
He has a shovel at will. What more does he need to do to let you know I will fucking hurt you? Hurt you? Like,
Yeah.
Apparently.
I guess hurt him, yeah.
yeah, because he just says he keeps getting too close. He said, "You got too close, man," and just goes whack with the shovel. Man, Rami Malek got some power because he one tapped them.
Dude.
One pump.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, for real.
He said, "Bonk," and he said, "You died." He said, "My brother died."
Dude, I was shocked, dude. When he didn't get up from the shovel, I'm like, really? Like, you're gonna die over that?
That's what I was thinking.
And then Denzel conveniently shows up after he bonks him, which,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
I don't know how long he was sitting there, but Rami's been sitting there for a while. He was like, he was doing the man race shit. And Denzel goes, "All right, I've done this before." And I go, "What the fuck? You've done this before?"
Yeah.
Which, again, when the trailer came out, right? When we just watched the trailer, I fucking said they better not have given it away that Denzel is the killer, right?
Yep.
I feel like they gave it away that Denzel's the killer. But I'll get to that.
Pretty much.
Because that happens. But I've seen theories back and forth, but I like mine the best because I'm me. Because I'm smarter than everyone, of course.
Fair. Yep.
Does the body, everything like that. Fucking goes and drops his car off, gives it to some fucking crackheads and says, "Here you go, kid. Have fun with that car." And they go, "Oh shit, a free car."
Yeah.
Definitely not have to worry about the plates or anything. But I mean, they
Dude,
just
that
chopped
was-
that bitch
yeah.
anyways. So they showed it
That's
later.
fine.
They took the tires off that hoe. And then he goes back to Rami. Rami hasn't put the body in the hole yet. Denzel puts the body in the hole, patches up all the holes. They leave. Jared Leto gone now. He had been too much of the sauce, so now he's dead. Fucking Rami quits because he's distraught. Denzel fixes everything for him, sends him the brooch in the mail to say that Jared did it. We
The
find out
brooch.
what was it? Fucking brunette,
A beret.
The beret, yeah.
a
the
Beretti 50 cal Barrette,
the
something, I don't know.
brioche.
Yeah, fucking Bartolage Muse or some shit. I don't know. It's something you put in your hair or something. I don't know.
It's yeah.
And he sends it to him, but then you look at the end. Oh my god, he bought the pack of them, but it was their exact. It was a bunch of shit. All right, I'll explain it all in my little conclusion gimmick. Before I go, I want to hear your guys' interpretation, so I don't sway you.
Tristan, you go for it.
Tristan, yeah, go ahead, go
You
first.
hit me with it.
I they certainly made it seem like Denzel did it, but they don't do a lot to explain how it would have been done, I guess. Like they just kind of imply that he did it without giving you much on anything else that happened uh on anything. Like we had the first murder, which they explained a bit. Um Then there was the survivor at the beginning of the movie, and then there was the girl that went missing. But there's apparently two other girls that we don't really ever hear anything about.
That's for true. That's for true.
So I don't know what the deal is with that.
Fair. Eli, what's your take on this?
So, all right. First of all, as soon as he got that Brett in the mail from Denzel, I knew I had an assumption that it was fake. Like he just bought that and sent it to him. I'm like, there's no way he found it. Like he would have found it earlier. Like, I don't know. I just made the prediction of it's not that actual Barrett. He's not the killer or whatever. My interpretation of Denzel, though, I didn't really think he was the killer, but more just trying to help his friend out of like wanting to hurt himself over a mistake he made. I took it as he just didn't want his friend to be just a psychopath, and he wanted him to have some sort of like uh, ending to his story of like he wanted the fact that that was the killer, and I think Denzel gave that to him. Now, I didn't really care enough to really put any details behind that or like really think about it in depth after I was done with the movie. I was like, cool, it's over. Like, I don't really care anymore. So I'd love to hear your take on it.
Okay, in your take, let me ask you this: was Jared Leto actually the killer? In your take,
No.
so
No.
the
No, he
killer's
was
still
not.
out there for you.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
I think we can all say that. I don't think Jared Leto was the killer in most takes. Like,
No.
He's not in mine. So, like I said, I think Denzel was the murderer, but I have evidence. Okay. So I think that the last person, right? So they show the flashback with Denzel and how he fucked up and got the girl killed or whatever, right? And he actually shot her or whatever the fuck. I think that he didn't accidentally shoot her. I think that he fucked up. She slipped away from his initial murder, so then he killed her in a way that made it look like an accident. Brought her to the coroner where he already had good faith with people, and then they thought he did it on accident, so they covered it up for him. Right? Boom. That's how he got away with that one. So then he starts killing again later. Okay. And because he has to go up there, or he goes up there and he starts killing again. You know, it's that part's a little shaky in my theory. I'll be honest, the like why he started killing again, or he's been killing the whole time. I go with the he's been killing the whole time because they seem like they want to give him vacation time whenever he wants because he asked for vacation time and he just took days off to stay in like L.A. County or whatever the fuck he was. So then he's there and then he's getting people there, and then he goes to the place and then he sees Jimmy. Well, Jimmy is cut from the same cloth of him and is a very good detective, and he realizes that, and he knows Jimmy's one of the only people that could actually catch him. So then he antagonizes Jimmy on purpose with that reporter, and he gets Jimmy to be interested in him, right? So then Jimmy ends up coming to him to ask for his help with everything. Well, slowly Denzel is trying to fuck with Jimmy mentally to get him off his ass. So then he finds someone that could be easily disposed of, which is Jared Leto, right? So Jared Leto, like I said, has been bouncing from town to town. He was at Detroit, couldn't catch the murders there. He is a crime buff and everything like that, so he would know what's going on, and he's a fucking psychopath already. So Denzel purposely picked him out of the crowd to be the one to pin blame on because it would be the best for him so that he could put Jimmy there. Gets Jimmy so obsessed with it being him that Jimmy does whatever he has to and ends up killing Jared Leto, right? So that whole gimmick was for him to get Jimmy off his ass, right? And for him to be good to go and scot-free and safe. And the reason he sent the brooch to him was to make him think Jared Leto was the killer, but he didn't send the real one. He sent one he bought. And also, that was the exact brooch that she had. How would he know what the beret thing would look like, right? Kind of weird, since we never see the killer, and we always see him in older cars that are rusted up, which is like the one that pulled up on the two girls. Now, that's a lot of evidence as is, right? I have more. He says that there was that the victims weren't raped or sodomized, but it was still for sexual pleasure, right? If you remember when Denzel is in the motel room, this just stood out to me, which was weird. One of the people he was visualizing was like kissing his foot or like playing with his foot. You guys notice that?
No, I don't remember that.
Okay, like I know what you're talking about, but I think she was just at the foot of his bed because that was the first girl, and I think he just connected to her the most because it was the first one, which is not uncommon.
No, I get that. But like I said, she was massaging his foot and like had her face very close to his like feet and toes and stuff, right? Which is sexual pleasure, which you wouldn't need to rape or sodomize someone for, right? On top of this, if you notice throughout the whole movie, Denzel has a weird fucking fascination with kids and younger girls. The whole movie.
That's true. That's true.
He looks at Jimmy's daughters.
Yeah.
He mentions that he has daughters of his own. The girl passing by him in the car, he stares at for an ungodly amount of time.
Yeah, that's true.
And so, like I said, the whole foot thing would explain how he gets sexual pleasure from it. The eating a meal would also explain the sexual pleasure from it, which wasn't developed on outside of when he mentioned it and mentioning that it was roast beef and shit. And that they weren't raped and sodomized, which would also point to him. And he would have the best place to do it because he's off in the rural town where no one cares about anything anymore, and he could play it off. So that's why I think like it was him, and he really did plan this shit out like to a whole new level because they said he had the highest clearance rate of any cop in like the history.
Yeah.
So I think he's like super smart, and I think he knew Jimmy's super smart like him, so he had to take out Jimmy by tricking Jimmy and taking him out at the end of the movie, and that's what happened.
See,
pretty much.
I think that's a really good take on it. I'm not gonna counter any of your points. That definitely makes sense. I am stupid though, and I wish that the movie would have just kind of had a 5-10 minute scene of like what really happened, like behind the scenes, the whole movie. I like when movies at the end kind of do that kind of thing where they take the whole movie and break it down into a summary, and they take just another viewpoint of it, like going into his head, for example, and showing like, oh, this is what he was thinking during this moment, and he was into this, and blah blah blah. And I think that would have been really cool at the end instead of having it kind of anticlimactic and not really giving us the ending that anybody really wants. But
the ending was not satisfying, at the least. I'll say that with you. The ending was not satisfying, but if what they were trying to do was, I want you to solve the mystery of this for yourself and to like pick your own adventure kind of shit, like Pulp Fiction did, you know what I mean? We're like,
yeah,
what's in the thing? What happened? Blah, 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 blah. Like that kind of thing. Cool. I just don't think they earned it for the rest of the movie, that ending.
I agree.
Pulp Fiction earned it. Pulp Fiction was a very fun character piece that by the end, you're like, wow, I do wonder what's in that fucking thing that everyone wanted so bad, right? And
100%.
I mean, even to this day, people start theorizing what that shit was in there. This is not going to be theorized in the future. In a year from now, it won't be talked about. In 2 years from now, it'll be forgotten completely. But I do think that they did offer good clues and mystery elements to throw you off and provide theories for each of these. Because I wrote this down before I went online, because I didn't want to fuck up my own like interpretation, you know what I mean? So I wrote down my take, and then I went online and read some takes. People were like, oh, it wasn't Jared Leto, it's not Denzel. They both, he sent the brooch to help him because he cares about him, the kind of take, and that the killer's still out there, and it's just showing you how corrupt cops are with how they both were doing fucked up shit to try to get the case solved or whatever.
That's how I took it.
Fair take, Then there's one where like Jared Leto was the killer the whole time because he was being weird and all that shit, and they just couldn't get evidence for him. So then Jimmy just snapped and took him out. Like that was one of the takes too. And I've seen like there was a couple different takes of what's going on and why, but I just that's the one that seemed the most certain to me, because the abnormalities that they tried to pin on Jared Leto's dude weren't even that abnormal. Like he's just a fucking drifter who is just a fucking weirdo, right? So I don't think he was the killer. Even if my take's wrong, I don't think he was the killer at all.
I don't know that they're that abnormal though, because like he was getting hard to the pictures of the dead chicks and stuff, you know.
But that might be his gimmick. He might be a necrophiliac or whatever.
Yeah, but that's pretty abnormal in my opinion. Like there's not that many normal necrophiliacs out there, you know.
Now that's for true, but it's more common than being a serial killer, which is kind of fucking weird. But
oh, that's what it's called. Okay, I'm pretty sure he's a sadist. Is the right word?
He likes getting beat up.
No, deriving sexual pleasure from non-sexual acts.
I think that's a different
you mean
word.
Denzel?
Yeah.
Or
I could have the word wrong. I don't remember. I'm trying to think back to, 12 seasons of Criminal Minds.
Yeah, sadist is someone who gets from sexual gratification and like inflicting pain on others, kind of thing.
Then I'm thinking of something else that might start with a D. I can't remember the word.
Comment it if you hear it. Comment what Tristan's thinking about.
But yeah, I just feel like this movie I like mystery movies, right?
Oh yeah,
and I love them a lot, and they're interesting because I like solving mysteries and solving puzzles and stuff. So obviously, like you can tell, I said I didn't think the movie was that great. Yeah, I still had a fucking fat ass paragraph about what I thought happened.
Right.
So that's cool and all, but the substance of the movie could have been better. I thought the pacing could have been a little bit faster or had a little bit more like fucked up stuff. It's kind of weird to explain. I just wish there was different ways of explaining and different ways of twisting, because the only person I felt like couldn't do anything or wasn't a bad guy was Jimmy.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But everyone else kind of was doing fuck shit, so it was like whatever. It was an okay movie.
That's fair.
It's not bad by no means. It's okay. That's all I'd say. It's an okay movie. It's not the worst we've seen. It's not Death Note. It's not Fractured. It's definitely better than Fractured.
Definitely.
Right.
But I think I would have enjoyed this movie more if it was an hour 40, hour 30.
Yeah.
Yes.
But saying that, I don't know what you would cut, and saying that, I don't know what you could improve, to be honest. Like that's what I was thinking after I watched it. I was like, there's something not clicking for me, but I just can't tell you what it is. It's just there's something not 100% about it. I don't know what it would take, what changes it would take to make it better. Because usually I come in here and be like, this is what you could do. You could do this, you could do that. I have no idea. I just think it didn't click for me. I think for some people it might. Some people really like Zodiac. I didn't. Some people might really like this movie. Some people might not. So, I mean, that's about it.
Yeah. No, everything you just said, I agree with. I don't know what I'd really change either. Like most of the 2 hours, like even the middle plot line, I don't know. There's really nothing like that doesn't matter. Like everything matters, but at the same time, like I don't know. I feel like they could have shortened it, like you said. Like you said, I feel like the pacing could have been a lot better. But
agreed. I would like to go ahead.
Yeah, go
ahead.
Don't go for it, King.
Okay. I would like to real fast reference what I believe to be the best scene in this entire movie, which was when Denzel was chasing down crackhead Jared Leto. He was just following him on the freeway and everything. And then he pulled over to the side of the road and he was like, all right. So then Denzel pulls over and he ends up backing up all the way towards him and he's gone. And he's on the other side of the freeway. And then he just starts playing Ring Around a Rosie with him. And that wasn't like any sort of amazing cinematic masterpiece or anything. It was just so good to me how I thought it was hilarious how he just kept going back and forth across the freeway.
I thought it was pretty funny, yeah. That was a good scene. I don't blame him. Yeah.
Very entertaining. He pulls up and he goes, "How's the trunk space?" And I was like, "Hey, he did it to him." That and Jared Leto with the bush light.
Oh my god.
Crackhead Jared Leto. He's
Crackhead
actually just
Jared Leto,
Joker
yeah.
from Suicide Squad.
Yep. Yeah.
Just a couple years later.
This is what Joker was supposed to be.
No. This is him after he goes into rehab.
Pretty sure Joker lives and doesn't get hit by a shovel.
Chevalier.
Hey, you never know.
So
Anyway.
I think that's all we got, to be honest.
Yeah.
The movie was very not a lot happened.
Man.
Yep.
And the best we could do is tell you how the actors did and tell you the plot a little bit. So we told you that, and then how we got to end it. That's about it. That's what we gonna get. You know what I mean? So ratings, I'll give you a
Okay.
solid 6.5 out of 10.
That was also my rating, so 6.5 for me as well.
I was gonna say about a 6.
So all around that, it's good range. That's what we put basically. It's okay. Like, it's not great, it's not good, it's okay. I don't know if it's worth your time. If you really like crime shit, it's probably worth your time. If you don't, probably not. But
True.
shit, we don't even have anything to announce for you guys. Like, to be honest, because this is recorded in advance. So we'll post on Twitter or something, or check Monster 3. We'll tell you what's going on. So
We could announce
we
that motherfucking Audible link. Wow.
Eli, we
Link
don't
that
talk
you
about
can
Audible no more.
do. We can though, because we can still buy equipment with it.
If people signed up, but they don't.
But that's why they should. And click that fucking link.
Buy our Patreon instead.
Yeah, that too.
That too.
Do both. All right, so thank you guys for watching. It was a week. That's what we got for you. You guys probably like the trailer trash. You probably didn't like anything else that we talked about. You might not even like the trailer trash. So it's been a week for sure. But I just want you guys to remember that my name is Enrique.
I'm still Eli.
And my name is Tristan.
And I want you to remember that we are farmers. But.